We're reading corn on the internet. This video is by Yungistiny. If you want the original link, it is in the description so you can read it on your own leisure. The summary is, in which your boyfriend realizes he likes a little pain and when you're mean to him. I think we'd get along. I think we'd get along because I am a little bit mean. Warning, jealous, possessive, switch reader, bratty switch YUNHO, pain, kink, light masochism, degradation. Sometimes I can't read. Degradation, moral, I guess you could say edging, spanking, light slapping, biting, hair pulling, digital exploration, starfish activity. There's double stuffed Oreos in here. Okay, rough schmecks. That sounds sketchy. Unsafe behavior under covers, little Debbie's, just filth, y'all. I'm ovulating. Well, when you ovulate, you know, this stuff does sort of happen. All right, I'm gonna give you time to all scamper out. Courtney, what sort of hopes do you have for this literary piece tonight?
Phil, which just that last sentence is honestly why I chose it.
Oh, you're ovulating too.
No.
Oh.
just Phil. Just
okay.
Phil.
I wasn't sure. Okay. You said last sentence.
Here.
I'd get my app to see if I was, but if you're ovulating in the chat, just let us know. Drop an O or an egg or something like that.
Oh, we gotta do our Kegels, guys.
Okay. It's too intimate for me. When are we doing them right now?
You agreed to it last week.
That is true. Are we doing them right now? Should we
On
tighten
the count
up?
of 10, everyone tighten it up.
Tight. They don't know what we're talking about. What? Okay.
Hold on. If they're in here and they don't know what Kegels are, they probably shouldn't be in.
That is true. But I'm gonna tell them anyway. There's a special spot in your lady bits. I'm not gonna get too graphic, but you can control the muscleage. I'm gonna muscleage down there. Just concentrate. You don't even have to concentrate very hard, and it should tighten up down there. So Courtney, are you leading the exercise today? Look, someone dropped an egg. Oh. Oh, you too. Aw. I love it. Don't you think it's weird that people come out of eggs? That always freaks me out. It does. Like we're humans, we're coming out of an egg. That's not okay with me. It's weird. I don't like it. All right, Courtney.
So we can move on.
What? Are we done? Did you do it by yourself?
Yes.
Courtney, you were supposed to count us all in.
All right, ladies. 3, 2, 1, clinch.
Everyone clinch. Clinch it up. Tighten that mouse.
9.
Courtney, you're making me do it too long. I'm not a bodybuilder.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release.
It's too much, Courtney. Courtney, can we just do 5 seconds?
No.
I don't do steroids,
no
Courtney.
Pain, no gain.
I'm not trying to do an event at the end of the week, Courtney.
We're trying to keep them tight. Okay?
Trying to keep our muscleage tight down there. Congratulations. I'm glad you ovulated last week. Congratulations to everyone ovulating today. Okay.
I'm so proud of you guys.
I'm proud of you. You can't control it, but I'm very proud of you. Good job. Good job for them ovaries. Okay. We tying it up again, or we're doing that one round?
Can you handle doing it again?
We're gonna see what we can do, but I don't need to be 10 seconds.
All right, ladies, one more round.
Tighten them up.
10 seconds. And tighten. 3, 2, 1. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release.
My mom would be so embarrassed by my behavior.
If there's any males in here, I don't know what to tell you to do.
I think they could tighten something up. maybe a prostate. I think they could
Tighten the
up
cheeks. Tighten the cheeks.
Tighten the cheeks. They could tighten the hole. They could tighten the hole. They could do that.
Good.
I don't know. I'm just feeling like they could. Okay.
You tighten your hole while we tighten ours.
Courtney, it's getting too graphic now. It's just getting too graphic. 3 more. I don't got another 3 inside of me. Jessica, I know you cleared that because I know the tubes would never allow that word right here.
I did actually.
You cleared it for her?
No, I didn't clear it for her. Let her put it.
Okay. Yes, because she's a moderator.
Maybe.
All right, I had to drink some fluids. Chris.
Next week we're gonna shoot for three rounds.
Courtney,
this is the beginner's course.
I'm already sore down there, Courtney. I don't know if I got enough in me for next week.
Make sure to do your Kegels on your own during the week. 2 rounds, 10 seconds each.
No, Courtney, it's too much. Well, you know what? Before you go to bed, do your Keeks. And when you wake up, do your Keeks. This should be easier. When you're brushing your teeth, do your Keeks. And then you're already done for the day. So when you're brushing your teeth, tighten up. Did I hear squats?
Yeah, you can do them while you're doing your squats.
Courtney, you're trying to make us fall over and injure ourselves? We're already tightening up down there. Now you want me to stay balanced so I don't fall over?
We're trying to tighten up the other part.
What other part, Courtney?
Your bum.
Okay. All right.
That's tight too.
Okay, keep it tight. Put some baby powder on it. All right, so we're gonna. Courtney, so baby powder's bad now?
No, I didn't just. All right.
Seriously, my cooch is sore now because of that exercise.
If that made it sore, the 2 fingers with 1 bandage might be a little too much.
2.5 fingers. And yes, probably. But you know, when you don't use those, this sounds like a gynecological show now. When you don't use those muscles down there, they're going to atrophy, Courtney. And when you start building up the resilience, there's going to be soreness down there.
Can I tell you something? We're 6 minutes away from being 2 hours into the
show. Oh my God. Oh my God. What was I talking about for 2 hours? What the fuck was I talking about?
We derailed all over the place.
I literally thought it's only been 50 minutes.
No, it's been 2 hours.
Jeez.
114 minutes to be exact. 115 now.
You know what? I did set the timer 2 times 25, so that's already 50. I may have said it again. I don't remember. But 2 hours?
2 hours?
Are you squeezing? No, I'm not squeezing those. Squeezing the hole. This is an ATEEZ channel. Talking about puss exercises. Well, tighten up the wall. Oh crap, I haven't used those muscles in like 8 years, I'm assuming. They've dried up and blown away by now. Lacey, thank you for that comment, because I'm pretty sure that can happen. The little flappers just flap away. Everyone, make sure flappers are strong. And if they're dry, put something on them, like some lotion or something.
ATEEZ should moisten them right up. It's fine.
Okay, it's all right. You know what? ATEEZ makes us feel lubricated at the end of the day, and I don't know what this channel is about anymore. Okay, ADHD math. That is what happened. 50 plus 50. Okay, we're good. But no, it's 2 hours. I'm so embarrassed. Okay, embarrassed. All right, you get 2 more. I thought you were going to say you have 2. Well, you do have 2 sets of. Never mind. We're done. Okay. Keep those flappers strong. Yes.
You need that on a t-shirt.
No. Could you imagine walking around with keep those flappers strong?
I'm gonna design one, and I'm gonna put a beef wallet on it.
Like no.
Put
a sandwich.
You know how a wallet, when there's like a picture of a wallet opened, I'm gonna do that, but with beef.
Sick. You're so gross, Courtney. Are you gonna design it or
Yeah, I'll
put
design
something
it.
through
It's fine.
ChatGPT to see what it looks
I'll
like?
draw it.
You
I
know
mean,
it'll be
look at our bread snail we got. I
that is
drew
true.
that concept up.
Art, beautiful art. I got something about this shirt. If we want it to be like more minimalist, I would love to see it on a black shirt with just like block lettering. Keep those
Got
flappers
you.
tight. Keep those as on the top and on the bottom is flapper strong. And then a period because I think that would just add something to it.
Or we could even go more keep those lips tight. They'll never know.
I think they will because we don't have that many lips on our bodies. We have face and below the waist, and they're
People
gonna
would look
know.
at us like, did they really do that? And we're just like, no, we're talking
No,
about the
no, stop,
mouse.
stop, 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 stop. She's right. She's right. We're gonna end up on a tangent. We gotta stop. We gotta stop.
Okay, fine.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh.
Thank you. One of us had to stop, and it wasn't gonna be both of us. Courtney was already going down that
You've been rubbing off on me too much, and I
know, I'm
needed to
sorry.
stop.
You're about to go on a whole shirt rant for no reason.
Loose lips sink ships.
Who the fuck?
She tells us to read the story and then gives us a great slogan.
Don't make us get off the track. We were almost good. We were almost there. But yeah, loose lips sink ships. It also works with ATEEZ.
It does.
It does. I love that. Can that be their new thing? They're like, 8 makes one team. Loose ships sink ships. Like, I think that would be nice.
I mean, they do talk about drownings.
Well, they do be talking about that. Drowning in puss. Loose lips sink ships. I like it. If I ever got a fan call, I would just go to a place where I can get a shirt in 24 hours and put that on my shirt.
Yes.
But I
yes.
get it spelled in Korean, so they're not confused about anything. Like, they'll know. They'll know. They'll be like,
They're going to ask you what it means.
I'm going to say it's about puss lips.
You would not.
Period.
I swear, if you ever...
I'm going to embarrass myself so bad. So bad.
You're going to end up on every block list possible.
Every block list possible. Everyone. When I met I am, I thought I'd be so scared and nervous, but I was like eating candy as he's walking past me, giving me a high five. I'm like, something's wrong with me. And I'm like, he touched my hand. Why did I say that? But he did smile at me, so we're probably married by now.
Just remember, Chris, if you end up blocked on everything, you can't really run your show. I mean, you can. We would be feeding you content.
Yeah, give me something. I told him about puss. It's so bad. Like, Sangwa might smile, though. He might. He was dressed as one in bad. People say he looked like a vagine.
You're given the opportunity to choose one person. Are you choosing Sungwa for a fan call?
I would be super nervous with Sangwa, and I'd probably do a really terrible rant of, I saw you come out of the elevator in Gorilla, and like, I love you so much. It would be really bad. It would be bad. But you know what? Just
I feel like a young one asked for one for his next airport ride.
That is true.
She's got me by the balls.
Not now. Loose lips sink ships. I love it. Or just, you know what? Just the wallet with beef in it. That's it. First of all, this is your fault because you said loose lips sink ships. It's your fault.
For some reason, I don't know why, and this just may be the millennial in me talking, but I just thought snail trails and dragon tails would be great.
Fuck is wrong with you? This is Reading Rainbow? What is going on with you? Book of the Month Club for the library. But it did rhyme. I did like it. Could we put a dragon on the shirt? Oh my god. A dragon vibratini.
Snail trails and pirate tails, TALES.
Yes. Yes. I love it.
Pirate
Will it come
sails?
with plushies? Plushies? Will it come with plushies?
Sure.
Oh,
we'll even give it a little eye patch.
That sounds filthy, but I love it. What can we put on the eye patch to make it worse? Little beef?
Um, hold on.
Are you drawing it right now? No one can
Hail
see
the
it.
hail the bread.
Might as well say hail the beef at this rate.
Hail the no.
Beef over everything. Okay. Did anyone else notice every time she says Sangwa, her voice? Stop, Lacey. Leave me alone. Sangwa. He's. Don't make me look at pictures. We're going. Why are you yelling at us like that? All right, we're gonna start. Okay. Let me get a drink of water. Oh, don't.
I've already went through both of my teas, by the way.
Do you need more liquids?
I'm switching to water.
I got my electrolyte. Do you have your crack water?
My crack water is gone. That was one of the teas.
Oh, you feeling good? You feeling okay?
Mhm.
I don't know. It may be hitting because this will explain the behavior. Okay.
It would very much so explain it.
You're lit up like a Christmas tree. I love it. Okay. All right. This genre is concerning, in the fanfic, it's you saw him. It's and he's gonna pound a lady. It's 10,000. Oh shit. Courtney,
What?
we should have been reading. We should have been reading a long time ago.
It's fine. We got this. We can do this. You just might be going to Whole Foods a little bit later tomorrow.
Oh, fudge and crackers. Damn. No, but 10,000 words. I'm talking right now. Shut up. Okay. All right. I see. I caught myself. All right. By the time Young dropped into your chair, what is happening already? Okay. You had already been working for nearly 3 hours. The dressing room had settled into the particular kind of controlled chaos that always came before a schedule. Open makeup palettes covered half the counter, curling irons and straighteners heated beside rows of hair products. Garment bags hung from nearly every available hook, and someone's phone was playing music from the other side of the room, beneath the constant overlapping conversations between members and staff. You had long since learned how to work through all of it without really hearing any of it. Young, unfortunately, was considerably harder to tune out. You're pulling my hair.
I'm brushing it.
Violently.
You'll survive.
I will. You met his eyes in the mirror. Do what you want to. Young's mouth snapped shut, although the grin spreading across it ruined whatever wounded expression he had attempted. See, this is why I like you.
You like me because I tolerate you.
Exactly. A laugh escaped you as you ran your fingers through the front of his hair one last time, separating a few strands until they fell exactly where you wanted them. His makeup was already nearly finished, leaving you with a little more than setting everything before sending him off to wardrobe.
Okay, don't touch your face.
Young immediately, it sounds like you're there working with him. Okay, Young, Young immediately lifted his hand and you slapped it away. I didn't.
You were about to.
You don't know that.
I've known you long enough to know exactly what that hand was about to do.
What that hand do? Okay, he muttered something beneath. Okay, he muttered something beneath his breath about workplace hostility while you leaned closer to check beneath his eyes, thumb lightly smoothing one tiny spot before you strained again.
I just need the setting spray.
You turned toward the other end of the counter. It took maybe 3 seconds. Your fingers had barely closed around the bottle before you heard the scrape of the styling chair behind you, followed immediately by Young's startled, Yahoo! I don't know. Okay. Why not? Okay. You turned back and stared at Young, who was standing beside the chair looking personally betrayed by the universe. Yuno was sitting in it now. Your boyfriend had apparently walked over at some point without you noticing, grabbed Young beneath the arms, hauled him straight out of your chair, and replaced him. Like this was what's going on?
No, this is funny.
Okay. Entirely reasonable thing for a grown man to do. For several seconds, you said nothing, and neither did Yuno. He simply looked at you. His dyed ash brown hair was still untouched, falling softly across his forehead and slightly into his eyes. He was already dressed for the first portion of their schedule in a crisp white shirt beneath a gray sweater vest, tie sitting neatly against his chest, silver jewelry catching the dressing room lights whenever he moved, gum shifting lazily between his teeth as he settled farther into the chair. You lowered the setting spray.
I'm not finished with him yet.
Yuno arched one eyebrow. That was it. No apology, no explanation, just one eyebrow slowly rising while his jaw continued its lazy movement. Chew, chew, pop. Your eyes narrowed as Young looked between you both. Thank you. I was wondering if anybody cared that I was just forcibly evicted. Yuno glanced at him, then looked back at you. I'm ready.
I can see that.
His mouth twitched as hold on. His mouth twitched as pointed toward am I confused? Does that make sense?
Twitch is pointed towards the chair. Nah,
Okay.
I don't know what happened there.
Okay. His mouth twitched as he pointed towards the chair. I don't know. Get up. Who said that? Wait, hold on.
Oh, I think it's me.
Get up. That. Okay, hold up. What's going on? Hold on, I need water. I feel like I'm glitching or something. Hold on.
Yeah, I think it's his mouth twitched as he pointed towards the chair he abandoned across the room.
Perfect.
Get up.
Didn't. Another slow chew of his gum made your eye twitch. Something about his expression immediately put you on alert. You knew that face. You've been dating him long enough to recognize most versions of Yuno without needing him to say a word. You knew sleepy Yuno, hungry Yuno, irritated Yuno, clingy Yuno, horny Yuno, competitive Yuno, and the particularly dangerous combination of bored and energetic Yuno. This was something else. There was far too much innocence on his face, and Yuno was never more suspicious than when he looked innocent. I have to get ready too, he said.
And you will, after Young.
But I'm already sitting here. Behind him, Young's mouth fell open. Because you picked me up. Yuno ignored him. You stared at your boyfriend, and he just stared back, chewing. Your gaze dropped briefly to his mouth before returning to his eyes.
Get out of my chair.
For the briefest moment, something flickered across his face so quickly you nearly missed it. His jaw dropped. God, his mouth. It's getting worse. There's no end there. Okay. His jaw stopped, but his eyes were. Courtney, you can't laugh.
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm just sitting here. I'm breathing.
I heard you giggling. I heard you. Okay. His jaw stopped. I don't know why I said mom. Okay. His jaw stopped, but his eyes remained fixed on yours. Fixed on. For half a beat longer than necessary before the gum shifted into his cheek and that maddeningly, I've never said that word before, mild expression returned. No. Young made a noise somewhere between a laugh and a gasp. Oh, he's lost. He's lost his fucking mind. You couldn't disagree. Wait, my brain is going too fast. I already need a break.
Deep breath. You got this.
Oh, I'm freaking out. Okay, hold on. I got this.
It's the gray sweater vest, isn't it?
I was thinking about it. I feel like he's worn it before. It has like that red and blue stripe down the middle of it. Why do we know what he wears? That's crazy. Okay.
We have a problem.
And we do have a problem. Okay. You couldn't disagree. It is cute though. Okay. You couldn't disagree. Yuno was playful. Yuno teased. Yuno occasionally seemed to wake up and decide his only purpose on earth was making you laugh until you couldn't breathe. But this, you stepped closer and watched every inch of your and he watched every inch of your approach. Move.
Move.
Thank you. His eyes lifted to yours. No. There it was again, that tiny change. I can see it. That tiny change. You couldn't identify it, especially because ruined any chance you had of studying him by blowing a bubble directly in your face. Your expression flattened as the pale pink bubble expanded between his lips until it popped. Sucked the gum back into his mouth and smiled, and Uyung immediately turned away, shoulders shaking. You looked at him.
Don't encourage him.
I didn't say anything
You're laughing.
because this has nothing to do with me anymore, and I'm just happy to be alive. You looked back down at who had the audacity to look pleased with himself.
Did you wake up irritating?
You asked.
Or is this something you've been working towards all morning?
His smile widened. You kissed me this morning.
I can make mistakes.
That got a laugh from him, bright and immediate, his nose scrunching as he tipped his head back. Oh shit, he's showing that throat off. For one dangerous second, affection threatened to dismantle your irritation completely. Then he reached out and hooked 2 fingers through the belt loop of your jeans. Your eyes dropped at his fingers remained there. What? Your eyes dropped as his fingers remained there. What?
Let go.
But you're standing all the way over there. You started at the approximately 6 inches separating you.
Tragic.
I missed you.
You saw me 20 minutes ago.
That was 20 minutes ago. Uyung made an exaggerated gagging noise without looking away from you. Lifted his free hand and gave him the middle finger, and you almost laughed. Instead, you caught Yuno's wrist and removed his fingers from your jeans. His eyes followed the movement, then lifted back to your face.
Chair.
I'm in one.
The other one.
But you're here.
And Uyung was here first.
He doesn't need you anymore.
Oh, that's yours.
Is it? Oh, I am literally unfinished. Uyung protested, and twisted around to inspect him. You look fine.
That's not the point.
Go ask someone else to spray you. Uyung stared at the back of his head before looking at you. Control your boyfriend.
I'm trying.
Turned around again, immediately correcting. She loves me. Your eyebrows rose.
Currently under review.
He grinned around his gum, and there was something about that grin that bothered you. Not because it was irritating, but because it looked victorious. Like somehow, despite being ordered out of your chair twice and threatened with a possible revocation of your affection, had gotten exactly what he wanted. You couldn't figure out what the hell that was. Fine. His eyebrows lifted slightly as you stepped away. For the first time since stealing the chair, looked uncertain as you walked straight past him and toward Uyung. Come here.
Come here.
Uyung practically skipped toward you. Oh, gladly. You shook the setting spray, held it up, and misted his face while remained sitting several feet away, waiting as you deliberately took your time.
Eyes closed.
They are.
Your left one's twitching.
Your boyfriend assaulted me. I'm traumatized.
Uyung.
Sorry. You sprayed him once more before fanning his face with your hand.
There. Now you're done.
Beautiful.
Debatable.
He clutched his chest as behind him came a little sharp... Wait. Oh, a little pop. Okay. He clutched his chest as behind him came a sharp little pop. You slowly looked past Uyung to sitting exactly where you left him, chewing his gum, watching you as another bubble began forming. You pointed the setting spray at him.
Don't.
The bubble stopped growing, and for 1 second, neither of you moved. Then deliberately kept blowing. Your mouth fell open as the bubble grew until it covered half his mouth before bursting across his lips. Uyung whispered, "He's doing that on purpose."
I know.
What you didn't know was why. Yuno peeled the gum from his bottom lip with his tongue, looking entirely too pleased. I can see it. Looking entirely too pleased with himself as you crossed the room toward him. Him thinking about how 3 nights earlier you snapped at him for the first time in months. Neither of you had mentioned what happened afterward. More specifically, Yuno hadn't mentioned the startling little discovery he'd made when your patience finally broke. Your voice sharpened, and you and what? My brain is fried. Okay, and you told your what? And you told your ridiculously clingy boyfriend to sit down and behave. He hadn't expected the heat that had immediately crawled beneath his skin. Hadn't expected 2 simple words in your irritated voice to follow him around for the next 3 days. And he certainly hadn't told you that he thought about it an embarrassing number of times since. So this morning, he had apparently decided to conduct an experiment. You stopped directly in front of him and he tipped his head back to look at you.
Are you finished
With my gum?
with being a brat?
Something flashed behind his eyes. Yuno couldn't quite suppress the tiny curve at the corner of his mouth at that word. Brat. No. You stared down at him as Yuno stared up at you. And somewhere behind you, Young whispered to himself, he's gonna die today. The first round of group photos should have given you a break from Yuno. Should have. Once everyone had been ushered onto set, there wasn't much for you to do besides hover near the monitors with the rest of the styling team and watch for anything that needed fixing between shots. Hair out of place, shine under the lights, a collar sitting wrong, anything the camera could catch that nobody else would notice until somebody was staring at the pictures later. For the moment, everything looked good. You took advantage of the rare lull by leaning against the edge of one of the equipment tables and taking a long sip of your iced coffee. The drink was mostly melted ice by now, but you didn't care. You'd bought it. What? You'd bought it on the. Wait, oh, I'm so sorry, guys. Can't read. Okay. You'd bought it on the way in that morning. Forgotten about it twice, rediscovered it once, and had been surviving on sporadic mouthfuls ever since. Across the studio, ATEEZ were arranged in front of the backdrop while the photographer called instructions. A little closer to Mingy. Shifted. San, chin down slightly. The shutter clicked rapidly as you watched over the rim of your cup, your attention automatically drifting toward your boyfriend despite yourself. Annoying or not, the bastard photographed beautifully. His earlier sweater vest had survived your eventual styling session. His hair now properly arranged despite the fact that he'd made the process unnecessarily difficult. Under the studio lights, the softer brown strands framed his face exactly the way you'd intended. A few carefully placed pieces falling over his forehead. You threatened him twice while doing it, and he'd oh God, and he hold on, I need a break. I need a break. My mouth is so dry. Okay, Lisa. Okay, I'm joining an hour in. We literally just started.
Yeah.
We just started 2 hours.
You've not missed anything.
It's nothing. I read like 2 paragraphs. Right now, they're at a photo studio, and Young and Yuno just got their makeup done. So you guys haven't missed anything. Yep, exactly. Please don't get me off track. Okay. I'm trying not to. But not Young. The captain looks so good in his little outfit. Okay. He did. He really did look good. Okay. Okay.
And he looked
good in his outfit. He really did. I'd pull up the pictures, but I won't do that. Okay. Pieces fall on her forehead. You threatened him twice while doing it, and he looked delighted both times, which was still bothering you. The group shifted positions to another set. Young moved in front of Yuno. San leaned against Sangwa, And Hongjun immediately started complaining when Mingi nearly stepped on his shoe and backed into Junho. Don't move, the photographer called. I didn't, Mingi protested. You absolutely did. I can't do his voice. Hongjun muttered. The shutters started again, and you smiled into your straw. Eventually, the photographer lowered the camera and checked the monitor. Good. Let's move into individuals. The members immediately scattered. Hongjun was called first, while the others drifted toward the chairs lining the side of the studio. Staff descended briefly to make adjustments, and you set your coffee down long enough to fix one piece of Yosong's hair that had separated beneath the lights. Yuno went several people later, and admittedly, you watched. Not obviously. You had standards. But every time you pretended to check something on the counter beside you, your eyes somehow wandered back toward the set. He was good at this, infuriatingly good. One moment, he was smiling brightly at something the photographer said, all wide eyes and easy warmth, and the next his expression settled into something quieter as he angled his face toward the camera, hands in pockets, shoulders relaxed, jaw tilted just enough for the light to catch it. You took another sip of coffee as Young appeared beside you. You're staring
I'm working.
at his face?
His hair.
Sure. You elbowed him without looking, and he laughed and wandered away before you could retaliate properly. Good. Last few. The shutter fired several more times. Changed poses effortlessly before the photographer finally lowered the camera. Got it. Bowed slightly. Thank you. Someone called Yosong's name next, and stepped away from the backdrop while staff moved into reset. You'd already stopped paying attention to him. Your focus had shifted toward Yosong as he walked onto set, mentally checking his hair beneath the lights while you lifted your cup and took another drink. Someone beside you asked a question about the products you'd used earlier, and you turned your head to answer, gesturing toward your styling case, which was why you didn't see coming. You only felt your fingers suddenly become lighter. You looked down and your coffee was gone. What?
What the?
My bad. Okay. You turned. Was already walking away with your cup in his hand. Your mouth fell open. He stopped and turned, your straw between his lips, and drank as you stared at him. He stared directly back at you while taking a long, obnoxiously leisurely sip. There wasn't even much left, which apparently Yuno realized at exactly the same time because his cheeks hollowed slightly as he pulled harder through the straw. The horrible rattling sound of ice and the last remnants of coffee filled the space between you and your eyes widened. No, he fucking didn't. Yuno pulled the straw from his mouth, looking down into the cup, and gave it a little shake. Then he looked at you as you slowly pushed yourself away from the table.
Did you seriously just finish my coffee?
Swallowed. Maybe.
Maybe.
He lifted the cup and peered inside as though evidence might spontaneously materialize. There's ice.
You
can have it. You stared at him in disbelief as he held the cup toward you. You didn't take it. Instead, you looked from the empty plastic cup to your boyfriend's face, where that same suspiciously innocent expression from earlier had begun creeping back into place. And you finally snapped.
You're being an ass.
Yuno went completely still. It was so immediate that you almost thought you'd genuinely hurt his feelings. The playful expression disappeared. His fingers stopped moving around the cup. Even his jaw seemed to lock for half a second, and your irritation faltered, because that wasn't normally how you spoke to him. You teased him constantly, called him annoying when he was being annoying, threatened bodily harm whenever he stole the blankets or put his freezing hands underneath your shirt in bed, threatened to get yourself off without him if he didn't finish his game quick enough. Oh, no, that's still bad. Okay. But rarely, but was rarely actually an ass. That was part of why his behavior today was so strange.
Baby.
Then you saw it. His eyes changed. Not hurt, not offended, something warmer. Your mouth closed as Yuno's gaze stayed on your face for one strangely heavy second, then another, and slowly the corner of his mouth lifted. Your eyebrows pulled together as he smirked. Actually fucking smirked. Your concern evaporated instantly.
Don't.
Don't what?
You know what?
He tipped his head slightly, shoving another piece of gum into his mouth. The gum shifted between his teeth as you stared at his mouth before looking back into his eyes.
What's wrong with you today?
Nothing.
You threw Uyung out of my chair.
He was taking too long.
He also kept touching everything on my station.
I was bored.
You wouldn't sit still.
I had energy.
And now you stole my coffee.
Glanced down at the empty cup. You weren't drinking it.
I was literally holding it.
His lips twitched and your eyes narrowed. There it was again, that barely contained satisfaction. It made absolutely no sense.
You're seriously getting on my nerves.
Yuno's tongue pressed briefly into his cheek as his gaze dipped to your mouth, then back to your eyes, and something about the movement made your stomach tighten. Your head pulled back slightly. What the fuck was that? Before you could examine the question too closely, someone called your name from across the studio. YN, touch up. You looked toward the set. Yosong was waiting while one of the photographers pointed toward his hair.
Coming.
You turned back toward Yuno and snatched the empty cup from his hand, and his smile widened.
You owe me another coffee.
I'll buy you one.
You're buying me too.
Okay.
And stop being annoying.
Okay. You stared at him suspiciously as Yuno smiled sweetly. Far too sweetly. Go work, baby. Your eyes narrowed further before you turned away. You made it 3 steps. Pop. You stopped. Behind you, there was silence. You slowly turned your head. Yuno stood exactly where you'd left him, arms folded comfortably over his chest, chewing his gum, and looking somewhere off toward the set, as though he had absolutely no idea why you stopped. You stared at him and his eyes slid toward yours, and there it was, that tiny fucking smirk. You pointed at him. Yeah, I bet he looks so good. You point, whatever he wants. Okay, you pointed at him.
Keep it up.
For one fraction of a second, Yuno's entire expression changed again. His smile disappeared. His eyes sharpened. Then you turned and headed toward Yosong before you could catch him slowly bite down on his gum and let out a groan at what? Okay. And let out a groan. It's starting right away. And let out a groan at his pickle twitching. We didn't get far. Okay. Dinner had been Mingi's idea. By the time the shoot finally wrapped, everyone was exhausted, hungry, and operating on the collective agreement that if food didn't happen soon, somebody was going to become unpleasant. San had found a restaurant less than 15 minutes from the studio. Songhwa had approved it after inspecting the menu, and somehow what started as the 4 of them grabbing dinner had turned into you being dragged along before you'd even finished packing your styling kit. Not that you minded. What you did mind was your boyfriend apparently making decisions about your evening without consulting you.
That's you.
Is that me? Oh, I'm going home with you. You stopped halfway through zipping your jacket. Yuno was standing beside you, completely casual, phone in one hand while the other shoved itself into his coat pocket.
You are?
Yeah. You stared at him.
Interesting.
His eyes shifted from the phone. What?
Nothing. It's just nice finding out where you're sleeping tonight at the same time you apparently did.
I already knew.
Of course you did.
Mingy snorted. Sounds like he's doing drugs. Mingy snorted from somewhere behind him, but Yuno ignored him and stepped closer, reaching down to take your styling bag before you could pick it up. You immediately caught the handle.
I can carry it.
I know.
Then give it to me.
No. Your eyes narrowed and Yuno just smiled. For fuck's sake. You released the bag because fighting a man built like a refrigerator, over 20 pounds of hair, products, wasn't how you wanted to end your workday.
Yosong knows you're abandoning him?
I'm not abandoning him.
You live together.
He'll survive one night. From near the door, Song glanced over. You stayed at her place 2 nights ago. See, Yuno said. He's keeping track.
That's not. Oh.
I'm sorry, I'm Songwa right now. That's not what he meant, Songwa replied as Yuno shrugged, slinging your bag over his shoulder. You watched him for another second. Something was deeply wrong with your boyfriend today. Not wrong, just weird. He'd been attached to you since the shoot ended. Not in the usual affectionate Yuno way either. He'd been hovering, appearing beside you while you packed, taking things out of your hands, finding excuses to touch you whenever he passed. And somehow, despite spending the entire day deliberately irritating you, he'd decided he was coming home with you, apparently without considering the possibility that you might leave him on the sidewalk.
You're awfully confident for someone who's been pissing me off this morning.
His attention snapped back at you. There, again, that tiny pause. You caught it this time, and your eyes narrowed slightly. Yuno recovered almost immediately, though, mouth curving into that lazy smile he'd been wearing far too often today. You'd miss me.
Try me.
Minky made a quiet sound behind his fist, making Yuno turn. Do you have something to say?
Oh,
Nope.
my line.
Oh, okay, go.
Do you have something to say?
Nope.
You keep laughing.
Is that me? Okay, I'm having a good day. Fix up.
Your day's about to get worse.
Fix off. Minky grinned.
That was Yuno.
Okay.
It's fine.
It's all right, Yuno, cool. Mingy's grin widened. See, YN, she's being is that? I don't know who that is. Okay.
It's Mingy.
Am I saying that?
Yeah.
Okay. Mingy's grin widened. See, YN, he's being an ass. Yuno's head whipped toward him, which only seemed to delight Mingy. Yuno's expression changed for barely a second before he rolled his eyes and headed toward the door with your bag. You stared after him. Yeah, what? You stared after him alongside Mingy. Then your boyfriend's best friend looked at you. You furrowed your brows.
What?
Nothing.
Mingy.
I didn't say anything.
You're making a face.
What face?
That face.
I have one face.
You have several, unfortunately.
Why did it sound like I was from New York? Okay. He laughed and threw an arm around your shoulders as you followed everyone outside. I'm just enjoying whatever the hell is wrong with your boyfriend today. So am I, San said. You're all very supportive, Yuno called from ahead, and Sunghwa sighed. Can you please eat before this becomes another argument? It did not become another argument, mostly because 15 minutes later, you were seated in the corner of a small Korean barbecue restaurant, with enough food arriving at the table to distract everyone from Yuno's ongoing personality crisis. The restaurant was warm and crowded, filled with conversation and the constant hiss of meat hitting grills. Jackets had been tossed over the backs of chairs, sleeves pushed up, and another spending the entire day surrounded by cameras and staff. Everyone seemed to visibly deflate the second food appeared. You sat between Yuno and Mingy, a mistake, you realized, not because of Mingy, but because Yuno had apparently interpreted being off the clock as permission to become even more attached to you. His thigh had been pressed against yours beneath the table since you sat down. You shifted once and he followed. You shifted again and so did he. The third time you turned your head. Yuno was calmly watching San argue with Songhwa over whether the meat needed another 30 seconds. You looked beneath the table. His knee was firmly against yours and you nudged it away. 3 seconds later, it returned.
YUNHO.
Hmm?
Move your leg. I can barely move.
He looked down as though discovering the existence of his own body for the first time. Why?
Because you're crowding me.
You don't like being close to me?
Not when you're doing it specifically because I told you to move.
His mouth twitched and Mingy lowered his chopsticks. You caught the movement from the corner of your eyes, as Yuno finally shifted his leg away.
Thank you.
Anything for you. You stared at him as he smiled and then turned back toward your food before you committed a felony in front of witnesses. For several minutes, everything remained peaceful, suspiciously peaceful. Migi and San started discussing something that had happened during the shoot. Songo was busy cutting meat and periodically putting pieces onto that's so sweet. Putting pieces onto everyone else's plates before apparently feeding 4 grown adults was a responsibility he'd silently accepted. You were halfway through chewing when another piece of meat landed on your plate. You glanced over at Yuno, who was already reaching for another.
You don't need to feed me.
I know.
Then eat your own food.
I am. He placed another piece onto your plate and blinked innocently as you picked it up and ate it. That earned you a pleased smile. Fine. That version of Yuno you could handle. Your boyfriend had always been affectionate. He liked taking care of you in quiet ways, carrying your things, making sure you'd eaten during long schedules, ordering something for you because he knew you'd forget. None of that was unusual. What was unusual was the way he kept watching you. Every time you looked up, his eyes were already there. Every time you spoke to someone else, you could feel his attention drifting back. And every single time your patience sharpened with him, something behind those eyes seemed to wake up. You were beginning to notice a pattern. You just hadn't connected it yet. But Minky apparently had, because 20 minutes into dinner, Yuno reached across you without warning and stole the last piece of meat from your plate. You froze as his chopsticks disappeared back toward his side. Minky stopped chewing. San's eyebrows lifted, and Sangwa glanced between you both as you stared at Yuno while he calmly chewed the piece of meat he'd just stolen from you.
Did you seriously just take that?
He swallowed. Yeah,
You have an entire plate.
I wanted yours.
It was the same fucking meat.
I know.
Then why did you take mine?
Yuno reached for his drink, but you caught his wrist and he stopped as your fingers tightened slightly around him. As you leaned closer, lowering your voice because there were other people around and you weren't interested in broadcasting your domestic problems across the restaurant.
What is your problem today?
His eyes dropped to your hand around his wrist, then lifted and your irritation faltered because there it was again, except this time you were close enough to see it properly. His pupils had widened, just barely. His jaw tightened, and for perhaps the first time all day, Yuno didn't immediately have something smart to say.
You know.
His gaze flickered toward your mouth, and he smiled as your grip loosened.
You're doing this on purpose.
Next to you, Mingy suddenly became extremely interested in his food as Yuno leaned back in his chair. Doing what? You stared at him as he picked up his drink.
Being a brat.
The straw stopped halfway to his mouth. San coughed. Mingy looked down so quickly his chin nearly hit his chest. Songwa's eyes closed briefly, and Yuno bit the inside of his cheek. Then that fucking smirk appeared. You'd lean closer.
Why do you keep smiling when I say that?
His smirk vanished. Got him. Yuno looked away. I'm not.
You literally did.
No, I didn't.
You did.
You're imagining things. You stared
This
at
motherfucker.
I know, right? He's so sassy.
It's very Ouyang coded.
Hmm. It is. But like bratty, is also hot.
Yeah, I
Like
wasn't expecting it to be bratty, you know. Being
neither did
honest.
I. We read the trigger warning. I don't
We
know what
did.
happened. Okay. You stared, I think it said something about switch. Okay. You stared at the side of his face, tips of his ears turning pink, and your eyes widened slightly. No fucking way. Before you could say anything, Mingy suddenly shoved a piece of meat into his mouth and made the fatal mistake of laughing around it. Yuno's head snapped toward him. What's funny? Mingy shook his head vigorously. Don't involve me in whatever weird shit you two have going on. Your head turned between them as Yuno glared at boy. Your head turned between them as Yuno glared and Mingy grinned. San looked thoroughly entertained now, while Songhua had adopted the distant expression of a man considering every choice that had led him to this dinner. You slowly leaned back in your chair as Yuno looked at you again, and now you were the one who smiled, reached for your drink, and took a slow sip, keeping your eyes on him over the straw.
So you're coming home with me tonight?
His gaze sharpened immediately. Yeah,
You sure?
yes. Your smile grew as Yuno stared at you, then swallowed. Okay.
Okay.
Let's say you guys said it at the same time. Okay. All right. You turned back toward your food as though nothing had happened while Yuno remained suspiciously quiet. Mingy looked from you to him before breaking into the biggest grin you'd seen all day. Because Yuno might not have realized it yet, but somewhere between stealing your coffee and stealing food directly off your plate, the experiment had begun producing results in the opposite direction. You were starting to figure him out.
I think this is where shit's about to start taking a turn.
Once they get in that door, it's done. Maybe the
Someone's in
car.
trouble, and it ain't me this time.
Is it me? Oh shit. I bet.
Probably.
I bet. Man, okay. By the time the last plate had been cleared away, none of you were quite ready to leave. The restaurant had emptied considerably while you'd eaten, the dinner rush thinning into a quieter late night crowd. Near the entrance was a small bar tucked beneath warm amber lights. Barely more than a polished counter with 8 stools and shelves of liquor climbing the wall behind it. San noticed it first. One drink. Songhua looked at him. That's never one drink. They better not drink together. It can be. 10 minutes later, all 5 of you were gathered around the end of the bar. You'd taken one of the stools, Mingy beside you, while San stood with one elbow resting against the counter. Songhua and Yuno had somehow ended up closest to where the bartender was working, which had become increasingly entertaining over the last several minutes for one very obvious reason. She was flirting, shamelessly. You noticed immediately, and so did Mingy. The bartender was pretty, probably somewhere around your age, with dark hair pulled into a high ponytail and the sort of confidence that made subtlety entirely optional. She'd started with Songhua when he ordered, complimenting his hair before asking if he ever modeled. Songhua had smiled politely. Yes. She laughed like he made a joke and glanced at Mingy. Neither of you said anything. Then she got to Yuno. And you? Yuno leaned one forearm against the counter. What about me? You model too? Not really. Your eyes moved over him. Oh shit. Without even pretending otherwise, making you see this is reminding me of the game earlier. Your eyes moved over him without even pretending otherwise, making you take another shot of soju. Mingy's mouth twitched beside you. Don't.
Don't. No, that's me.
Don't?
Don't.
I didn't say anything.
You were about to.
I was going to ask if soju was good.
No, you weren't.
No, he admitted as the bartender laughed at something Yuno said, and you gritted your teeth. You weren't particularly possessive, at least that's what you liked telling yourself. That was Yuno. The truth was slightly less flattering. You trusted Yuno completely. You didn't care when fans flirted with him, didn't care about fan service, didn't care when stylists or photographers commented on how handsome he was. His job practically required millions of people to be attracted to him. You'd have driven yourself insane years ago if that bothered you. But somebody standing 3 feet away from him, but someone, how do you feel about the fan service that ATEEZ does when they do present themselves as boyfriends or partners?
I mean, they're great at their jobs.
They are really great at it. They
And
are.
I feel I'm kind of with YN on this. Like, if it's fan service and stuff like that, you get it, right? It's their job. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But when it's a situation like this, when you're out with the group
Mm-hmm.
and then there's a female standing right there blatantly flirting in front of you and he's not doing anything to step out because they're technically off the job right now.
Yeah.
And you're still giving that, then there's a problem.
Oh,
And that's
shit.
when a conversation occurs.
And then you leave him there and he has to walk home.
Probably not.
So that's too much for you?
I mean, if we have the conversation and he proceeds to do it, then yeah, he's staying there.
You know,
But I would talk it out first.
take him in the bathroom.
Or go sulk in a corner. I don't know.
I like that option. Go sulk somewhere. He'll be really upset about that. All right, no more ranting. See how short that was? Okay. But somebody standing 3 feet away from you, blatantly flirting with your boyfriend, that scratched at something. And Yuno knew it too, because Yuno got jealous exactly the same way. He wasn't controlling about it, never made ridiculous demands or acted like you couldn't speak to another man without his permission. He just got clingy. Suddenly, there'd be a hand at your waist, an arm around your shoulders, a casual baby, dropped into conversation approximately 4 times more than necessary. You teased him mercilessly about it, which meant Yuno knew precisely what the slight tightening of your mouth meant when the bartender leaned closer. And you knew he knew because his eyes found yours, and he fought a grin. Your eyes narrowed. Don't. You didn't need to say it. He knew. And perhaps if your boyfriend hadn't spent the entire day systematically excavating every last ounce of your patience, he would have listened. Instead, something wicked sparked behind his eyes. He turned back toward the bartender, and your jaw tightened as the bartender set his drink down. This one's on me. Yuno looked at the glass. Really? Mm-hmm. Should have come here sooner. Your eyebrows shot up, and Mingy went completely silent beside you. Oh, so that's how he wanted to play. The bartender smiled. You should come back. Did I sound like shocked? What was that? You should come back. All right. The bartender smiled. Imagine if you talk like that. You should have come sooner. All right. The bartender smiled. You should come back. Picked up his glass. Then, because apparently he had finally decided that simple irritation wasn't producing results quickly enough, he smiled at her. Not his huge, goofy smile, that charming little one, the one he knew worked, the one he only used on you and gave to fans like customer service. I might. Your tongue pressed into your cheek as San suddenly became fascinated by the liquor bottles behind the bar. Songhwa looked at Yuno, then at you, then back at Yuno with an expression that clearly communicated that whatever happened next was entirely his own fault. The bartender moved away to help someone at the opposite end, and Yuno turned around, took one look at your face, and smiled. That did it. You slid off the stool as Mingy whispered, "There she goes." Yuno barely had time to set down his glass before you reached him, fingers closing around his wrist hard. Not enough to genuinely hurt him, but your nails pressed sharply into his skin as you pulled his arm down and leaned closer. Yuno sucked in a breath, and a small moan escaped him. Okay. He could feel his pickle twitch.
Pickle?
Yes, it's coming out of nowhere. As you froze, Your grip remained exactly where it was, and iOS eyes dropped to your. Is that a apple? Okay. Eyes dropped to your fingers wrapped around his wrist. Then slowly lifted to yours, and suddenly you weren't thinking about the bartender anymore because you knew that expression. You'd seen it enough versions of desire across your boyfriend's face to recognize when it appeared, even when he was trying desperately to hide it, and Yuno was doing a terrible job. Your irritation faltered as his lips had parted slightly. His gaze was heavier. His wrists hadn't pulled away from you. If anything, he'd gone unnaturally still beneath your hand. You loosened your fingers a fraction, and something that looked suspiciously like disappointment flickered across his face. Your eyes narrowed. No, surely not.
You know,
His gaze snapped back at yours. What? Your your voice dropped.
you've been acting like a brat all fucking day.
There. His jaw tightened as you felt the tiniest shift beneath your fingers. Your heart gave one heavy beat as you stared up at him and tightened your grip experimentally. Just slightly enough to hurt a little. His breath caught. Not from pain. Your lips parted. Oh, you had him. Suddenly, the entire day replayed itself in your head with startling clarity. You know, stealing Young's chair, the gum, the bubble popping, touching your things after you told him not to, refusing to sit still, finishing your coffee while looking directly at you, that fucking smirk when you called him an ass, stealing food off your plate, following every irritated warning with another tiny act designed specifically to push you farther. And the other night, you'd almost forgotten. You'd been tired. You had been clingy, following you around your apartment while you tried to finish getting things ready for the next morning. He kept distracting you until you'd finally turned around and snapped at him. Sit down, behave. He'd gone strangely quiet afterward, and you hadn't thought anything of it until now. Your gaze moved slowly over his face.
Do you like this?
Swallowed, not answering. He didn't need to. Your eyebrows lifted and you fought back a flabbergasted grin.
No fucking way.
His cheeks were beginning to color along with the tips of his ears. Behind you came a suspicious choking noise that sounded remarkably like Mingy trying not to laugh, but neither of you looked away as stepped I'm just say as you stepped closer to each other. I don't know. Yudo's eyes dropped briefly toward your mouth.
You've been doing all of this on purpose.
I don't know what you're talking about. There wasn't a shred of conviction behind it. He was a terrible liar. You almost laughed as you stared at him in disbelief.
You're unbelievable.
I, I didn't do anything.
You flirted with her right in front of me.
His eyes flickered. There was the guilt, tiny but present. I wasn't actually flirting.
You told her you'd come back.
I was trying to rile you up.
I know that now.
Courtney, we're not getting into an argument at this bar. It's not happening. It's not happening.
I don't like the way you said that. It sounded like Nikki. No, 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 no.
I thought we were having a good time. Okay. I thought we were having a good time. Okay. His mouth, if you have not seen Obsession, okay. His mouth closed. I didn't know. Okay. Okay. His mouth closed as what? His mouth closed as he looked down at your hand, still wrapped around his wrist, before slowly pressing your nails into him, making Yuno's eyes close for half a ugh. Do you think he rolled them a little bit?
Probably.
Yuno's eyes closed for half a second and your stomach flipped. When he looked at you again, there wasn't much bratty amusement left in his expression, and you finally understood. It wasn't simply making you angry, it was getting a reaction from you. The sharper tone, the warnings, being told to behave, being called out when he deliberately refused, apparently even the little bite of your nails against his skin. Your gaze returned to his face.
You like being a brat.
Yuno's Adam's apple bobbed. Maybe. You nearly laughed.
Maybe.
He was trying. Courtney, why are you trying to riz me up?
I'm
What is
getting into it.
All right. Okay.
Sorry. God. I'm just going to read
No,
it
I just
straight.
no. Don't read it straight. Just read it whatever the spirit tells you to do. Just move with the spirit. Okay. He was trying to recover now, that infuriating little smile creeping back onto his face. Maybe I like when you get mad.
That explains today.
You're hot when you're mad. Your grip tightened and his face faltered. Careful.
Careful.
We're twins. We said it at the same time. Okay. The word came quieter than anything you'd said to him all day, making Yuno go still as you leaned closer, just enough that your next words stayed between the two of you.
You spent all day trying to find out what happens when you push me too far.
His eyes stayed locked on yours as you released his wrist. 4 faint crescent marks from your nails remained against his skin. Yuno glanced down at them, then back at you, and the idiot smiled. You shook your head, finally understanding exactly what kind of problem you'd knowingly created 3 nights ago.
Brat.
His smile disappeared again, and you caught it. This time, there was absolutely no mistaking it. Your own smile slowly appeared.
You're in trouble.
For the first time all day, Yuno didn't have a smart answer. Behind you, Mingi quietly took San by the shoulder and nodded at Sangwa. We should go. San blinked. Why? Trust me. Sangwa was already reaching for his coat.
Warning, leave now.
We don't know what's going to happen. I'm scared. I don't know what's going to happen.
We know what's happening. Filth, pure filth.
I'm scared. She was ovulating when she wrote this. Okay. The ride back to your apartment was suspiciously quiet. Yuno sat beside you in the back of the car with one hand resting on his thigh. Oh, okay. Occasionally glancing in your direction, like he was waiting for something. You caught him twice. Both times, you simply looked away again. Apparently, that was worse than yelling at him. By the second time, his knee had started bouncing and you nearly smiled because now that you figured him out, the entire day had become painfully obvious. Your boyfriend had discovered something about himself a few nights ago, told you absolutely nothing about it, then spent an entire workday poking you with increasingly larger metaphorical sticks to see what happened. Fine. He wanted to see what happened. He could. The second your apartment door closed behind you, Yuno dropped your bag beside the entryway and turned toward you, but you ignored him as you kicked off your shoes, shrugged out of your jacket, and hung it near the door. Yuno remained exactly where he was watching. You could practically feel the anticipation coming off of him. Still, you said nothing as you walked into the kitchen, and a few seconds later, footsteps followed. Of course they did. You opened the refrigerator and reached inside for a bottle of water. And when you straightened, Yuno was leaning against the opposite side of the island, arms loosely folded over his chest. You twisted the cap open and his eyes followed your fingers as you took a drink. Then they moved to your mouth. You lowered the bottle.
What?
Nothing.
Then why are you staring at me?
Can I look at my girlfriend?
You've been looking at me all day.
I like looking at you. There was the sweet Yuno answer. Normally it would have worked. Tonight, you simply took another sip and his mouth flattened slightly. You had to bite the inside of your cheek to keep from smirking. This was almost too easy now. You set the bottle on the counter and leaned back against it, studying him, making Yuno shift beneath your attention. So, okay, you said that? Okay. His eyebrows lifted. So,
you learned something the other night?
his expression immediately changed. Not much, but enough. I don't know what you mean.
Bullshit.
The corner of his mouth twitched as you continued to stare at him, as his gaze dropped when your hand settled against your thigh.
I've been thinking.
Dangerous, he grinned. There he was. Apparently, even after being caught, he couldn't help himself. You slowly dragged your hand upward along your thigh, and Yuno's smile faded. His attention followed the movement before snapping back to your face as you tilted your head.
I should make you go without.
His lips parted as you let the implication hang there, your fingers still resting high on your thigh, and Yuno pushed himself away from the island. You're not serious. You almost laughed at the panic in his eyes, like the thought of no schmecks with you was catastrophic to him. You held up one finger and he shut up instantly. Well, that was new. Yuno stared at you from the opposite side of the kitchen. You could practically see the internal battle happening behind his eyes as you took your time looking him over.
Why not?
Because,
Excellent argument.
baby,
No.
his jaw tightened.
You spent the entire day trying to piss me off.
I wasn't trying to piss you off. You gave him a look and Yuno sighed. Okay, I was.
And then
you glared at him.
you decided to flirt with another woman because apparently everything else wasn't getting you the reaction you wanted.
The playfulness finally slipped from his expression. That one was stupid.
Yeah.
I knew you knew I wasn't serious.
I did.
His shoulders relaxed slightly.
That doesn't make it less stupid.
Yuno looked at you for a long moment before quietly admitting, I wanted you jealous.
Oh, I know.
I wanted you to grab me again. That caught you. Your eyes dropped to his wrist. The faint little crescents from your nails were still visible. When you looked back up, Yuno was watching you. No smirk this time, no teasing, just honesty that made warmth curl through your stomach.
You like that?
His gaze flickered toward his wrist. Yeah.
And you like me calling you a brat?
His tongue pressed briefly against his cheek. Yeah. You smiled slowly.
And when I snapped at you the other night?
That too.
So instead of telling your girlfriend any of this like a functioning adult, you decide to spend an entire day annoying the shit out of me.
Well, when you say it like that,
how else would I say it?
I was experimenting. You stared at him and Yuno's mouth finally broke into a grin, making you laugh despite yourself.
Experimenting.
I didn't know if it was just that night.
So you needed peer-reviewed research.
Exactly.
You're a fucking idiot.
You're an idiot.
Unfortunately.
He started toward you, but you lifted your finger again and Yuno stopped. We're getting really into this. We were there. All right. I was doing the hand movements and everything.
The same.
Right. It helps. She's getting it out. Her giggles.
I need a drink.
Yeah.
I know what's coming.
Yeah, me too. Well,
or who?
Yeah, both at the same damn time.
No, Barry, we do this for you guys.
Yeah, we do it for us because we love reading to each other. You guys just listen. Okay. He started toward you, but you lifted your finger again and Yuno stopped.
See?
You murmured.
Now you're suddenly very good at listening.
His eyes darkened slightly, watching as you let your hand fall back against your thigh.
You wanted me annoyed.
He swallowed.
You wanted me telling you what to do.
His gaze stayed fixed on you.
You wanted to be a brat until I finally did something about it.
Yuno nodded as you picked up your water again and took another leisurely sip.
So, maybe I shouldn't give you what you want.
His eyebrows pulled together and you shrugged.
Actions have consequences.
YN. The warning in his voice only made your smile return.
What?
You're enjoying this.
Maybe.
That's my life.
Not anymore.
Yuno took one careful step forward, and you didn't stop him this time. By the time he reached the other side of the island, you could see the beginnings of that familiar confidence returning. You get a whole print happening. So you tilted your head and murmured.
Keep pushing your luck, brat.
He stopped dead in his tracks. There it was again, that tiny catch in his breathing, the immediate tension in his jaw, the way his eyes sharpened on yours. You wondered at the restaurant, you'd wondered at the restaurant if you'd imagined how strongly the word affected him, but you hadn't. Your smile turned knowing.
Yeah,
You murmured.
I thought so.
And suddenly, Yuna looked considerably less pleased with the little game he'd started that morning because he spent all day discovering exactly which buttons of yours he could press. But he'd apparently forgotten that once you knew where his were, you could press them right back. Yuna lasted approximately 5 more seconds before apparently deciding he'd had enough. You saw the intention immediately, the slight drop of his gaze to your mouth, the way his shoulders shifted, one long stride that would have brought him directly against you if you hadn't planted your hand against his chest and shoved. Yuno stumbled back half a step, not because you pushed him particularly hard, but because he hadn't expected it. His eyes widened as you kept your hand against his chest for another second before letting it fall.
Beg for it.
Yuno stared at you. Then an incredulous laugh escaped him. What? You didn't smile, and that seemed to be what finally made him realize you were serious. You nodded once toward the floor between you.
Get on your knees and beg for what you want.
His mouth actually fell open, and perhaps for the first time since you'd met Jung Yuno, you rendered him completely fucking speechless. You almost wanted to take a picture. YN.
What?
He laughed again, quieter this time, staring at you like he was trying to determine what exactly his evening had escaped. When exactly his evening had escaped his control. You're serious?
You wanted me to do something about your behavior.
I. He stopped as you raised an eyebrow, and Yuno's eyes narrowed slightly. You're enjoying this way too much.
Maybe I am.
Baby. You reached for your water again.
That's not begging.
His lips pressed together as you took a drink, and the kitchen went quiet. You could practically hear him thinking. There was still a trace of disbelief on his face, but underneath it was something else. The same thing you'd been catching glimpses of all day, whenever your voice sharpened or you called him a brat. Except there was nowhere for him to hide it now. Your attention dropped deliberately to his feet before returning to his face.
Well,
His tongue pressed against the inside of his cheek. You really want me on my knees?
you're still talking an awful lot for someone who wanted me pissed off.
He clenched his jaw as you set your water aside.
Or was all that attitude only fun when you thought you were the one controlling how far it went?
Yuno stared at you, then laughed once beneath his breath, shaking his head. You figured me out and got me.
No.
You tilted your head.
You figured out you like me mean.
That wiped the smile straight off his face. You almost laughed.
Thought so.
Ryan.
You know.
His eyes dropped, and your boyfriend suddenly looked almost shy. It was absurdly attractive. He rubbed his thumb over the faint marks you'd left around his wrist at the restaurant, seemingly considering his options. Then he looked at you again, and slowly, Yuno lowered himself. One knee touched the floor, then the other, and your breath caught despite yourself. Because joking about it was one thing, seeing him actually do it was something else entirely.
I can't. This is a lot
We just started.
already. We haven't
We
even started.
can
It's a
see the
lot.
vision. I see the vision.
You know what I'm visioning right now? You remember in the logbook of Lemon Drop when he's in the pool and his arms are all spread out and he's just looking up?
Yeah.
That is what I'm seeing right now. And it is killing me. Okay.
We need a photo
Whew.
shoot of him on his knees looking up in the kitchen.
Yes.
Okay. Yuno settled back onto his heels. Oh, like in Slide to Me. Cute. Looking up at you from the kitchen floor with his hands resting loosely against his thighs. This reminds me of the photo shoot he did when he was on his knees. His hair had fallen slightly over his forehead during the long day. The tie no longer sitting perfectly straight, the top of his white shirt undone sometime during dinner, and somehow the brat still managed to look smug. You folded your arms.
Why are you smiling?
Because you're staring. Your eyes narrowed and his smile widened.
Do you want to get back up?
His smile disappeared, and you bit the inside of your cheek. Oh, this was dangerous information. No,
Sorry.
it's all right.
Know what?
His eyebrows lifted as you waited for as Yuno exhaled through his nose. No, I don't want to get back up.
Then behave.
His eyes fluttered shut. I see the vision. For half a second, and when they opened again, you were smiling.
God, you really do like that.
His hand started lifting toward your leg, but you caught his wrist before he could touch you.
No.
His gaze dropped to your fingers as you squeezed his wrist just enough to remind him. His eyes snapped back to yours, and your pulse jumped, but you kept your expression composed as you released him.
You've been trying to get this out of me all day.
You said quietly.
So now you can ask properly.
Yuna looked up at you.
Tell me what you want.
He swallowed, then that tiny smile returned. Everything. You raised an eyebrow.
Not good enough.
His laugh came out softer this time, almost disbelieving until the last trace of teasing disappeared from his expression. Please. You stepped closer until Yuno had to tip his head farther back to keep looking at you.
Please what?
And judging by the look he gave you, your boyfriend was finally beginning to understand that spending an entire day teaching you exactly what he liked might have been the most catastrophically successful decision he'd ever made, as the air in the kitchen became thick, charged with the tension that had been building since the moment Yuno had stolen your styling chair. What? You had stolen your... Hold on. You had stolen your styling chair that morning. He was waiting for the verdict, waiting for the moment you finally broke and gave him exactly what he'd been manipulating you to provide all day. You looked down at him, your voice dropping to a low, commanding hum.
Say exactly what you want.
Yuno didn't hesitate. The facade of the innocent boyfriend shattered instantly as he lunged forward, his large hands gripping your thighs with a sudden bruising intensity that run away, that made you gasp.
This is your warning.
No, oh, no, oh, no, oh,
If
no.
you don't like things, leave.
If you don't like things, you should go. You should go. Okay.
The plot has thickened, and when I say the plot, that is code for Yuno's pickle.
Yeah, the pickle is sickening. All right.
This is your warning.
Warning. Okay. Meow, meow. Okay. He's grabbing thighs. Okay. He pressed his face against the fabric of your jeans, his voice muffled and pleading, stripped of all his earlier bratty smugness. Oh no!
Did you just scream into a pillow?
I scream into my hands. I have to scream into your jeans.
I can't wait for you to hear that on playback.
I'm not listening to it. Okay.
It was great.
Oh. Sorry, I have to put my face in jeans. Give me a moment, please. Let me eat your piss. He rasped. The request sounding more like a prayer. Please, baby. I've been thinking, oh shit. I've been thinking about it all day. Please let me.
It does not work.
You
That
couldn't
does
hear me?
not work at all.
Was it bad?
Yes, but it sounds like you're like in the sewers.
Okay, hold on. I was cupping my hand around it.
Yeah, it was echoing. Jeans wouldn't echo.
How's it sound? Please, baby, I've been thinking about it all day. That good?
That's
I liked
better.
this. This
No,
sounds
no.
good.
No, it does not. It does not sound good.
How does this sound good? Is this okay?
It's like echoing.
Well, maybe I'm echoing your puss. How about that?
Excuse me. Why
is puss?
Not mine.
I'm sorry.
He developed a stuffy nose midway.
Shut up. Who said that shit? Ma'am.
Lisa, it's gonna get worse. It is going
We
to
are
get
method
worse.
acting and it's getting worse. I thought it sounded good. How about this? Yes, baby. Does that sound like jeans? I really like this, but apparently not. Please be. I really like
What
what
if it's flat against because it sounds like you're cupping where it needs to be like against. Yeah, don't cup. Don't cup. Just put your hand against your mouth.
Okay. Please, baby. Like that?
Yeah.
That better? Okay. Please, baby. I've been thinking about it all day.
Never mind. It's worse.
Hold on. Please, baby. I've been oh, it is worse. Hold on. Please, baby. I've been thinking about it all day. Please let me.
That was the better out of the ones, but it's still not great. I think if you just do it in a whispered tone, it would be better.
I don't want to whisper in your ear because I know that feels weird. Okay. We're never gonna get
Wait, we have to pause. Lisa has to drink water. We don't want her making a mess. We're already about to make one.
Yeah, we're about to make a whole mess all over the place. Even worse. You know what?
10-second water break, everyone. Do it now.
Put some liquids in you. What?
It's hard to do that when you won't let me swallow. Excuse me.
You know what? My electrolyte drink tastes like salt, and it's so disgusting.
Excuse me.
That's when you know what I was drinking. Electrolyte. I have electrolyte packets that I put in my water to make it taste better. So the flavor is citrus, but there's salts in it for, hydration. And now it's not ice cold anymore. It tastes like I'm drinking salt with lemon in it.
Is it the liquid eye stuff?
No, I go to Aldi, so they have electrolyte sticks there. Gotcha, and I used to go to Whole Foods and I would pay like $10 for 8 tablets. Freaking at Aldi, you get 6 of them for like $2.30. I've been getting ripped off at Whole Foods.
But they're salty.
They are salty. Well, we're about to see some more salty stuff.
Lacey, eating in here is a terrible idea. Please don't choke on your meat.
Oh, man. She really on one this evening. All right. I'm
sorry. It's not often that I don't play the brat, and I'm kind of loving this.
You are loving it. All right.
Please, baby. You're going to be the one whimpering and moaning this time.
I will be, and I'm very upset. Please, baby, I've been thinking about it all day.
It's okay. I'll do you proud.
Don't say it like that. Okay. You felt a surge of heat coil in your gut. The power shifted. The power shift was intoxicating. You didn't move. You didn't help him. Instead, you leaned back against the counter, oh God, crossing your arms and letting a small teasing smile play on your lips as you made him wait, counting the seconds as his breathing became erratic. Oh man, it's gonna get there. Okay. His grip on your thighs tightened until his knuckles were white. You pretended to consider it, prolonging the agony of his anticipation until he let out a Frustrated whine. Fine, he whispered. Oh shit.
Oh, that was me,
I'm
ma'am.
sorry. Oh God. Oh no.
Fine.
You whispered.
Go ahead.
Really? Hold on. What? What?
He about
That's
to have his snack in the kitchen on the counter.
stop. Because I have to do that as him. It's too much. Too much. Yes, electrolytes do have salts in them because they are trying to replace your body salts. I don't even have body salts problem, but it makes the water taste better when it's like ice cold. Okay, Elware, yeah, yeah.
Lacey, we will finish. We usually finish. It just takes us a while.
One of us finishes first, and then the other one finishes. Okay. Yuno moved with a feral speed. He didn't undo your pants. He practically tore at the button and zipper. His
Aggressive.
movements, the movements hurried and frantic. He yanked your jeans down your legs with a rough tug, and you stepped out of them, standing before him in nothing but your underwear. As he leaned in to Jesus. All right. As he leaned in to shove your pantaloons aside, your hand shot out, fingers curling firmly around his chin. You gripped him tight, forcing him to stop and look up at you. His pupils were blown wide. His gaze locked on yours with a hunger that was almost frightening.
Take your time.
What? You commanded, and the frustration in his eyes flared. But he obeyed. He shifted his focus to your thighs, pressing slow, wet kisses to the sensitive skin of your inner thighs. Run away. Run. He's about to do something with his
Leave.
mouth.
Get out. Leave right now.
Yeah, that's the end of you
No, no,
and
no, no, no,
me.
no, no, no,
Oh,
no. Too far. Too far.
what? What? Okay.
You fill in the blanks. They got to do the rest.
Okay. All right. He dragged his tongue upward in long, languid strokes, tasting the salt of your sweat, electrolytes, moving higher and higher, but never quite reaching the center of the Tootsie Roll. Oh.
Good boy.
You murmured, your voice dripping with a calculated sweetness, and the praise hit him like a physical blow. His pickle twitched violently against the fabric of his trousers, a hard, aching weight that was clearly reaching its limit. He let out a shaky breath, his tongue continuing to swirl against the soft, oh God, softest. I think that I got the visuals and it looks,
Same.
I like it. Softest parts of your thighs. His movements becoming more desperate as he neared the edge of your lace pantaloons. He paused there, looking up at you one last time, asking for silent permission to remove them. But as he reached for the waistband to drag them down, a sudden impulse took over. He didn't slide them off with one sharp, aggressive yank. He ripped the fabric. Well, the sound of the lace tearing echoed in the quiet kitchen, making you gasp, staring down at the shredded remnants of your undies.
You fucking brat. That was my favorite pair.
The word brat triggered something in him. Oh, I don't want you to skip ahead. Yuno let out a guttural moan. Was that guttural? The sound vibrating against your skin as he finally dove in. He didn't waste another second. His tongue flicked expertly against your mouse button.
Chris.
Huh? What?
I promise not to read ahead. Can we please read it normally and not have you trying to hide it? It makes it harder for me to read.
My bad.
Thank you.
Yuno let out a guttural moan, the sound vibrating against your skin as he finally dove in. He didn't waste another second. His tongue flickered expertly against your mouse button, a sharp, precise pressure that made your hips jerk forward. Then he thrust his tongue deep into your cat, mimicking the slow motion of his pickle with a rhythmic, demanding intensity. You reached down, your fingers tangling in his hair and pulled hard. You wanted him to feel the weight of your control. When he moaned against you, a sound of pure submission and pleasure, you pulled harder, tilting his head back just enough to make him gasp. Dang, he's really in there. Oh.
You're such a pathetic brat.
You whispered, alternating between praise and degradation.
Look at you, begging for it. Just a little dog for me to play with.
Yuno whimpered into you. the sound muffled by your puss. But his body responded with an electric intensity. He was eating you with a starving desperation, his tongue working tirelessly to drive you toward the edge. In the heat of the moment, his hand moved downward, fumbling with his own zipper to free his pickle.
No.
Snapped, yanking his hair.
You don't get anything right now. You just get to give.
Another whimper escaped him. Oof. The sound of absolute defeat. He didn't fight you, though. He simply surrendered, focusing every ounce of his energy on your pleasure. He used his face and tongue to muck yourself. Okay. Grinding your hips against him, your breath coming in jagged, broken sobs. The friction was overwhelming. The sensation of his tongue and the pressure of your own hand bringing you closer and closer to the brink. When the first wave of your organism hit, it was violent. You arched your back, your fingers clutching his scalp as you screamed into the empty kitchen, holding him there, forcing him to feel every single throb of your organism, pinning him to you against the last tremor, pinning you until the last tremor subsided. Heavy breathing, you finally snatched him up by the hair, pulling him to his feet with the strength born of adrenaline. Pumping adrenaline, kissing him deeply, tasting yourself on his lips, and gripping his hand as you led him toward the bedroom. You glanced sideways at him, noting the way he walked stiffly. His eyes glazed.
How hard are you?
I'm not hard at all. I'm not. Okay, you asked, your voice a low purr.
You're aching, aren't you?
Yuno glared at you, but there was no heat in it, only a desperate burning need. You smirked and stopped in the middle of the room.
Clothes off.
He obeyed instantly. There was no hesitation, no bratty pushback. He stripped with a frantic energy, his pickle springing free, thick, pulsing, and leaking pre-yogurt. It was twitching with a life of its own as you stepped closer, reaching out to stroke the length of him, your hands sliding against him, giving him a sharp, sudden squeeze, making Yuno's knees wobble, and let out a strangled sound, his head falling back.
Now.
What happened to you over there? Okay, what's going on? You murmured, leaning in close to his ear.
What do you want?
Please, he begged, his voice raw. YN, please let me have your cat. I can't take it anymore. You pouted at him, lifting your hand and gently patting his cheek. Small, mocking slaps that served as a reminder of who was in charge.
You will. Eventually. But first, brats deserve to be punished.
You pointed toward the bed.
Get on the bed.
Before he could move, you added a final condition.
Actually, crawl.
This big ass crawling. Yuno froze. Oh, he doesn't have pants on now.
This is wild. This is wild.
It is. So hold up. So I see him on his knees, and boys have pickles and berry pouches. So he's just crawling, and that thing's just hanging.
Oh, splinters.
Crazy work. Okay.
Assuming they have hardwood. Hopefully they have tile.
No carpet. Okay. Well, does he have carpet?
That's rug burn.
Well, he better crawl lightly. Now, don't drag them knees. Okay.
Three-handed crawl while the other hand's holding himself.
Ew. That doesn't look appetizing. I think my lady boner would go away. So gross. Please don't. Just let it swang. Okay. Yuno froze, his eyes wide with shock. He looked at you as if you'd just rewritten the laws of gravity, but the sight of your expression, knowing and dominant, was enough to break him. He lowered himself to the carpet, yes, and crawled into the bed on all floors, his chest heaving, looking up at you from the mattress as a devotee before an altar. You took your time. You removed your shirt slowly, then reached back to drag your brassiere off, tossing it carelessly to the floor as Yuno stared at you like he was starving, his eyes tracking every inch of exposed skin. When you finally climbed onto the bed, you didn't immediately give in. You pulled him toward you by his hair, whispering, "Oh,
Go on. I know you want them.
what do we want?" He growled, "Urgh," a low sound of desperate need, and lunged forward. He latched his mouth onto your bosom, sucking on your teat. No, sucking your teat.
Hog nipples.
No! No! Teats. Sucking your teats into his mouth with a bruising intensity. For a moment, he had a sliver of control back, his tongue swirling around the peak as he tried to claim you. He moved to the other side, his breath hot against your skin, but before he could settle in, you shoved him back and crawled atop him, straddling his waist. You began to tease him. You used the length of him to rub against your mouse, gliding back and forth in a slow, torturous rhythm that drove him insane. Yuno
Leave.
could, yes, run. Okay.
The
Yuno
time
could,
is now.
fix on. No, leave out. Okay. Yuno could only watch, his eyes wide and pleading, as you took your time edging him further and further into the red zone. When you felt his pickle throb violently, the pre-yogurt linking in earnest. Oh man, it's gonna get bad. All right. You abruptly stopped.
If you finish now,
You whispered.
I'll just finish myself.
The realization hit you in that moment. You love this. You love the sight of this powerful man reduced to a shaking mess of obedience and submission. Finally, you let yourself sink down onto him, taking him all in one slow, crushing motion, your walls clenching around him with a desperate force as your hand moved up to wrap around his throat. Okay. Squeezing just enough to make his breath hitch. Yuno lost it completely, a loud, guttural moan tearing from his throat as he arched beneath you and you grinned and squeezed tighter as you started to move.
Your lightsaber is so good.
You praised, your voice a dark contrast to the pleasure. Then your expression shifted.
Remember that bartender? Don't laugh.
No! I heard it.
You
your
heard
sin.
what?
I heard your sin hole talking because it sounds like you're on top of him. That's what I heard. Remember the bartender? The one you thought?
I'm method acting, Christina.
Don't, Courtney Lynn. Okay.
I know as soon as I start talking, you're gonna laugh.
No,
or
I'm
get
good.
silent.
I'm good.
Remember that bartender? I can't. Hold on. I need a drink. Drink.
Get some alcohol.
This is your fault.
This is
I
not
was
my
into
fault.
it. I was in it. I was not laughing, and then you started your bullshit.
Nubbins? Lisa, what are nubbins? Sounds like a snack.
Remember the bartender? That one who thought she could have your attention?
You choked him a little harder, forcing him to gasp for air. Start thrusting up violently. Did you hear it? Okay. His hips snapping into yours with a raw power.
No one else gets you like this.
You whispered, leaning forward until your chest touched.
Every inch of you is mine.
To seal the claim, you leaned down and bit his yipple hard, and was that was the breaking point. The bratty, submissive boyfriend vanished. Oh shit. Yuno growled. And in one fluid move, he gripped your waist and flipped you over, pinning you to the mattress with a force that knocked the wind out of you. Now who's being a fucking brat? He snapped, his voice returning to its usual commanding depth. He leaned over you, his eyes void of everything but lust and possession. Don't come, or I'll finish my... Oh, shit, that's you?
No, that's you.
Oh. Wait, now I get back and hold on. I can do this. Okay. Don't come, or I'll... Wait, I can't read. It's too much! Don't come, or I'll finish myself, he mocked, echoing your words with a cruel smirk. When we both know you can't come without me. Shit, too late. He leaned back and smacked your bum, a loud stinging crack that made you yelp. Then again and again, the sound of skin hitting skin filled the room as he teased your cat with the head of his lightsaber, rubbing against the entrance but refusing to enter.
I'm sweating.
What?
This is too much. This is too much.
Deal with it. Okay. Brats deserve to be punished, he whispered into your ear. Then he moved. You cried out as he drove himself in. What? How do we get to this? How do we get here?
He flipped us over.
Oh, I'm on my tum-tum. Oh, jeez. Okay. You cried out as he drove himself into your...
Excuse me?
What?
Sir.
Sir, that's why I was like, where are we?
Okay. I told you I wasn't going to read ahead. I genuinely meant...
I knew it! That's why I do that. Because I knew you were going to do that.
No, I told you I wasn't going to, and I didn't. That's why I was surprised.
Yes, good. Yes, we're both surprised because we're not reading ahead. Because I'm reading at normal pace because I can't read any further. Okay. Stretching you open with a single devastating thrust. Yuno groaned. A sound of pure pleasure as he bottomed out inside you. You were sprawled beneath him, skimming that fish. I don't want to think about starfish. Okay, you were sprawled beneath him like a dead fish. Beneath him, fingers digging into the sheets as you gasped for air. He gave you a second to adjust before he reached up and yanked you up by your hair, pulling your neck back and exposing your throat. He started to move slowly at first, holding you, pinned against the bed, as he hammered into you, and you starting to moan. Moans turning into pleas. Oh.
Muck my butt cake.
Cute. You begged, your voice breaking.
Yeah, please.
He lost all restraint. He held you by the throat, pounded into you relentlessly, the pace becoming frantic and feral. Your moans turned into sharp gasps and cries of pleasure and pain. As he continued to wreck you from behind, his other hand sliding forward, thrusting 2 fingers deep inside your cap. The double stuffed Oreo was too much. You were being filled from both ends, your body shaking under the onslaught of him. Your hands flew back, nails digging now you're digging your nails into his bum. The pain only made him moan louder. Pushing yourself even deeper into you, making start to squirt. Why? Hold on. Why does every YN character squirt? Why?
Just ATEEZ knows how to pick them.
All right. Squirting all over the place. All right.
They are pirates. They're used to being in the water.
Courtney.
I don't know what to tell you. You asked the question.
I did.
I'm giving you a logical answer.
I know we're going to boating. I didn't know we were getting all nautical and stuff. Okay.
Snail trails and pirate tails, remember?
It sounds like a really cute story, actually.
It does.
Jessica, can you do something on ChatGPT and see what happens? Okay. The fluids task. Okay. The fluid soaking the sheets as you began to violently shake. I just switched it around. His fingers mucked you harder and harder, synchronizing with the brutal rhythm of his hips. You screamed, your vision blurring as you came in a massive crashing wave of pleasure, and Yuno followed right behind you. You, after all, the edging you did to him. He let out a loud moan as he finished, his body stiffening, filling your bum completely before he collapsed onto you, his chest heaving, both of you drenched in sweat and shaking from the intensity of it all. The room fell silent except for the sound of your synchronized breathing. The experiment was over, and as Yuno buried his face in the crook of your neck, it was clear that both of you had found exactly what you were looking for. As you let him curl into your side, like the little spoon he thought he was, like he wasn't over 6 feet, you ran your hand through his hair, combing at his scalp. Brow. He grinned, tired, spent, and completely satisfied. Right back at you. Not as finishing so fast.
We did that in what? It was 10 o'clock when we started? Here. We did that in less than 2 hours.
Amber, look at you. Her too. Who else is here?
Kriggs.
All right, looks.
Is Jess on there?
Yeah, is Jess on here? I don't see anyone else. Okay. Well, how did you guys like the story? How did you like it, Courtney?
I liked it. It was nice being in charge for the first time.
Well, first of all, I didn't like how you were telling me I wasn't good at moaning into YN's puss, because I really thought it would sound really good. I thought, oh, let me get that cat, and you're like, oh, it's like,
okay. Don't take my word for it. Then ask chat. You can ask chat how that was.
I'm not asking them.
Why
I know
not?
how they are. I know how they are.
I don't know. Listen to it in playback. Then I don't know what to tell you, ma'am. Do better.
Fine. I'll listen. You didn't have to say it like that. You didn't have to say it. This picture of Yuno looks fantastic.
It really does. It's very distracting.
It's
not giving Brat though. It's giving
I'm sorry. I can't find a stubby enough picture for you. I'm so sorry. I'll do better next time.
It's giving you're at work talking to a male colleague. He walks in to bring you lunch and he sees you just casually talking. Nothing's actually going on. But he's pissed because you're talking to another guy. And he's about to come to your office with your food, dismiss the other dude, lock the door, close the blinds, and have his way with you over that desk.
Oh. It's going to be like, YN, what did you think you were doing earlier, trying to make me jump? Please, sir. Please. It was good. I didn't get to finish listening the other night. Well, I'm glad you were able to listen to us finish.
We both finished.
I collapsed onto YN. I don't even remember what we read. Oh, last week we read YUNHO. It was called Backseat. We were doing things in the backseat.
That was actually a very, very hot story, I'll be honest.
It took forever to read, honestly. You've still got some work to do, Chris.
What is she talking about?
She's telling me I'm not good at moaning in my own hand. That's what she's doing. She's slandering me on the interwebs. It was good. Thank you, Ash. I'm glad you liked it. Great reading, ladies. We try. We try our best. We really do. Thank God. Thank you. I hope you're done eating, by the way. That didn't sound right. I hope you had dinner. I hope it was a good dinner. Okay. I had to leave when YUNHO had the girl bent over in the car. Okay, you were here. And then you had to go.
So you didn't hear about the part when he videotaped.
Yeah.
The mess and sent it to Mingy. Not once, but twice.
Yeah, like YUNHO was diabolical, just diabolical.
So
Thank you.
So good.
Thank you, Lou. We appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you.
We
I'm
did
proud
well.
Of us.
Me too. Entirety, the show was what, 3 hours and 46 minutes? and
Yeah,
we
and we
spent 2
did
hours
10K
talking.
pretty quick. We locked in.
We were locked in.
Mm-hmm.
We did good. It's because Butterfly Cat was yelling at us. And she was like, just read the fucking story. We're like, you know what? Hell yeah. We need to do this. So theoretically, 10,000 words only took us like an hour.
Hour and a half.
Well, that's not bad. But 4,000 words takes 4 hours.
Let's not forget you were off your meds, so
Wow, really, Courtney? Well, I was.
you know it's the truth.
You're right. I'm back on my
And
normal
then
80.
it spreads, and I can't.
You're right.
It's one of those situations where either I sink or swim, and I'm a pretty good swimmer, so I just keep up with you.
Thank you. Yeah, when I don't take my medication, I do feel more unhinged. I mean, that's what it's for.
I'm not
Um,
mad about it.
I'm not either. I need it. I got, now I'm going to go on a rant. ADHD comes with emotional dysregulation. I didn't know I was like this my whole life. I mean, it's been happening to me. I'm a victim of ADHD. And I'd be flying off the handle at the weirdest stuff. And the medication helps to calm it down. So that's nice.
As long as it
Um,
helps.
yeah, it does,
I will say with this story,
Mhm.
listen, again, it was nice to be the one in control this time and not just having to moan the entire time.
You're welcome. Who knows what'll happen next week? Who knows? Who knows? We were gonna read a Son one, but I don't feel like bringing up the link, and we're not reading it because it's a short story, so that will take us longer theoretically. So I don't want to. I don't want to do that. I understand it completely. Yeah, gang, neurodivergence in the chat. Well, Courtney is also neurodivergent as well.
I'm a little spicy.
Just a little spicy. But I'm just going into another story. Before my diagnosis, I was like, maybe I'm just depressed and have anxiety. I mean, kind of, but no, it's ADHD when it's untreated. It's crazy, crazy stuff. Bodies are weird. If you ever feel like you need to get tested for something, just go get tested. Don't wait your whole life. Take care of yourself. Stuff be happening. No meds, you're raw dogging. I couldn't raw dog anymore. I was about to lose my mind. Why not do unit fanfics? What do you mean unit fanfics? You're
She
talking about
wants
when
Yoongi. She wants Yoongi at the same time.
she wants double storf. She wants Oreo
Mm-hmm.
situation, double stuffed.
Yep.
We could just reread the Stockholm.
She's been begging me for a Yoongi edit for the last 3 weeks.
Interesting.
My cute one that I showed you guys was not enough for her. She needed more.
Oh, wow, Barry. Uh-huh. So is she a Jungi enthusiast?
Oh, she very much is.
Oh, interesting news. Interesting. Why don't you just adopt them at this point? Just do what you gotta do. I don't even know who your bias is at this point because you're kind of all over the place at this point. I have because they are good. I'm waiting for the final result. Are you gonna do a final result? Why do I sound?
I keep scrapping the ones that I've been doing.
Why?
Because I don't like them.
Boo. Let Barry be the judge.
I sent her one. I showed you in the Discord, the one with the butterflies.
They were like came from nowhere, but butterfly out of armpits. I was diagnosed at 3, but never treated because that was back in 74. The pre, the current name, and anything concrete as treatment. Yeah, I couldn't imagine what it was like back then. They mostly like focused on boys, and when you know when you hear about ADHD, you just think of people bouncing off walls and all that stuff. But yeah, I don't do that. My bouncing's in my head. I mean, good read for Yunhho, Topaz.
Yungistiny has some really good Yoongi ones.
Of course. I feel like I read
like
one.
Top tier.
Did she write Camboy?
I believe so.
That
I'm
was fun.
checking right now.
Mingy was like becoming, a little spice rack with YN there. Then they started filming it together. I was like, sir, please, the decorum. And she showed me one. All right. Why'd you say it like that? That sounded weird. Sounded so strange of you.
You said Camboy?
Camboy.
Is it a one shot?
No, it's like 6.
It's a Mingy. Camboy's a Mingy.
Oh, just has like a little spot in it, I think. No, Uyung. Uyung is always like in the story being like a total little weirdo. He
It's called
introduced
Cam Girl.
well, whatever. He becomes a cam boy. So it's the same. It's the same. So I don't know what time it is for everyone where you are, but it's 11:52 for Courtney and it's 10:52 for me. So everyone, we all need to go to sleep and drink some water. Yeah, I'll call UPS.
I think not.
What?
Apparently somebody dropped in the chat that Son and Uyung's episode has dropped, so I will
Why
be.
did it drop late?
I don't know, but
Okay.
it's out, and so I'm probably going to be watching it. I'll probably hop in the Discord. So
Yeah, I will say, can we all watch it together? Like, don't be selfish.
I'm down.
All right, yeah, I'll watch it. Yes, and the attentive types, yeah. All right, you're still in your afternoon, so good. Yeah, I have an attentive and the bouncy one, but I only bounce in my head. Combined ADHD is like the worst thing since sliced bread. Not into it. Okay, so everyone, I hope that you have a good night, good morning, or a good evening. Courtney, do you want to do another nighttime show next week?
Sure.
All right, so we'll do nighttime again next week. We don't know what we're reading. We'll just let you guys know. Take care of yourselves and be healthy. Thank you again to the Patreon Discord for allowing this to happen, as well as the YouTube family. Thank you so much, guys. It's almost been 4 years. We've all been here. You guys didn't know me before, but thank you so much for being here. Courtney, great job being the moderator and co-host. Berry Squeeze, you need Jesus. And Jessica also needs Jesus as well. But thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, guys, I'll see you next week. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Hold on, I'm trying to shut it off. Hold on. Okay, bye.